Ant's finishing seems to have taken a big step forward this year.
Yeah.
What do you see most?
I mean,
contributing
simplified
to
it, I think. You know, was a lot of work on it in the summer. Credit to him and the guys that worked with him. I think it's mostly making it a little more simple. And it was a big point of emphasis for him.
Did you? I mean, I know it's simply, but like, was he trying to do too much at times last year? Or
I think some of it was trying to avoid contact. I think seeking the contact, playing off the contact, playing through it. Obviously, the benefit of that is foul drawing too. So it's kind of gone hand in hand.
What do you think is causing Terrence's struggles?
I mean, defense really. It's 3 fouls in 4 minutes. It's got to be able to guard without fouling, and that's where he still has to kind of. We need it. We need him there. So to me, it's just a lot of stuff at the defensive end, mostly.
Is it
fouling.
indecision too? Do you think? I mean, both on both ends of the court.
So I think it's largely rooted in readiness. He's a great athlete. He's probably spent a lot of his time making up ground with his closing speed. It's a dangerous habit to get into at this level with guys that have either equal or greater athleticism, but also teams that execute well and can take advantage of that. So his screen navigation is poor, and that's kind of puts him even further behind the play. So.
Is summer league and preseason that much different than the regular season? I mean, he
100%. Yes. This is yes. It's very much different. Yeah. So summer league is one level, preseason is another level. The regular season is another level, and then playoffs are another level beyond that.
So when I watch the game, I always kind of watch Mike Conley on the bench. Just he's doing obviously he's smiling, he's high fiving.
Yeah.
Does he do a lot of teaching with the young guys? Is he
For
a
sure.
guy that is bouncing things off him all the time?
Yeah, absolutely. He's continually communicating with them. For sure, it's one of the most valuable parts of him, and there are a lot of valuable parts of him. So.
Rudy's close to a suspension.
Yeah.
Is there a common theme that you're asking him to maybe try to curb in some of these when you've gone back and looked over them, or is it one of those things that chance?
Talk to him about it. Make him aware of it. It's got to control your emotions. I thought the other one last night was a little harsh. Definitely a 1 if they wanted, but a 2. But nonetheless, he's got to be able to control his emotions in those situations. Sometimes it's hard. I think people try to take a piece out of Rudy a lot. And we try to protect him, and sometimes you got to protect himself.
Chris, you mentioned a couple weeks ago about Ant being the point guard of this team. Like, if there's something you're looking for him to kind of grow more into that role, what would that checklist be?
Yeah, we don't. I mean, listen, that's we don't need Ant to be the point guard in the classic sense. We need him to be himself. Get us in and out of our structures. Push the pace a little bit more. I think play through Julius, the top of the floor. These are things that are easy to do, and we've done, and that doesn't force him into a role that where he's not his best self. We just need him to get the ball up, get us into something, and then be himself. Largely he's done a really good job with that. So we don't need him to kind of make this shift over to being John Stockton or anything like that. So.
Do you, over the years, obviously that's one thing that's changed. You see teams play 2 point guards at once or no traditional point guard at once. Is there an easier one to coach or a preferable one? Do you like to have one guy that's just the guy, or do you enjoy this where it's movable parts?
I mean, we've largely played in the system where we haven't had classic point guard. I mean, even with Mike, of course, he gives us a great organization and things to adjust to during the game. But when we're in the flow, anybody can bring it, get us into our stuff. We've seen guys really benefit from that, like Nikhil, not being necessarily that classic point guard, but really thrive in those roles. So, you would always like to have, I'd like to have 5 point guards on the floor if I could, but it seems to me like a little bit of a dying breed in the game, like is this pure point guard, and generally like teams are just putting the ball into their best players' hands as early as possible and as many times as possible, but it's on that guy to continue to make the right play. That's how offenses are built now. So.
When Ant brings the ball up and gets you into that initial connection,
yeah,
it seems to draw that double team a lot.
Sure.
Does that kind of help that flow develop after it gets off the ball?
Yeah, sure. Ideally, that's the chain reaction, whether it be heavy gaps, 2 on the ball, that's, and then what makes life easier for him is that, when the ball comes back to him, he gets some of his cleanest shots, and those are the shots that, he makes at a really high level.
Does the play of Bones on Monday night affect rotation decisions?
Oh, absolutely, yeah, absolutely, yeah.
How he played really well then with the turnovers.
Yeah.
How do you want him to balance going for it and being aggressive with trying to take care of the ball, I guess?
Yeah, I thought the turnovers were really controllable. The one down the sideline, Dante wasn't necessarily looking. We didn't really. He was trying to do the right thing. I think some of his turnovers, or at least 2 of the 3, if I had to categorize, were probably, trying to make a pass when he maybe should have just kept the ball and done, took a shot or just brought it up, So trying to do the right thing, but he's just got to be a little bit cleaner there.
When Rob comes out of the rotation, what do you kind of tell him, or how does he?
Same thing, stay ready. Had a 20-game run, and you never know. There's what's on the horizon. It always comes back around. So.
You've talked about before, but Dante's, his quickness to get into a game and confidence that, maybe not quite there last year when he first got here. Is that a big difference in his game? He just looks like he comes in and he's looking to shoot, he's looking to score,
yeah.
and he is what you thought he might be.
Yeah, for sure. I think Dante's had a great season so far. A lot of ways, he's. We need to find him some more shots. He went a long time the other day. I think he only had 4 shots into late in that game. And then what happens is he starts pressing. He starts shooting from a little bit deeper out, and those shots don't tend to go in as much. So we got to do a better job of getting him involved earlier. But he's got the ability to put up numbers in a hurry. So we got to lean on that.